Good morning. We're on the record in docket 22-01771. That's Credit Acceptance Corp. versus Jennifer Yancey. Ma'am, are you Miss Yancey? All right, you can come and sit right here. Would the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Ashley Nonis on behalf of plaintiff.
And ma'am, you are Jennifer Yancey?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Nonis, how did you want to proceed today?
Your Honor, we haven't had an opportunity to speak with the defendant, so a resolution may be possible. So maybe if we could just set the scheduling order and give us discovery for about 90 days, we can maybe reach a solution and just get the paperwork in.
Would you like to speak with Miss Yancey's here, and we do have an iPad set up. Did you want to speak with her in a breakout room just to start the conversation rolling?
Sure, that'd be great.
All right, so Miss Yancey, this is a pretrial. In a pretrial, we'll see what in this civil case we can do to start having either the ball roll towards setting it for trial or for setting it for resolution, or to see what issues exist. It appears that the legal representative of Credit Acceptance Corporation is amenable to meeting with you, Ms. Nonis, in a breakout room. We'd set you up with an iPad and I put you in a breakout room and you can talk to her about some of the issues. Would that suffice?
I guess I'm not familiar with
right.
being
It's
in
just
court, so.
Yeah, it would give you a chance to start understanding the nature of some of the allegations that have been made.
Well, I understand what the allegations are. I just I guess I can ask a few questions. Like for one,
so those questions should be asked of Ms. Nonis. Yeah. Yeah, and then you can start working towards figuring out some of the issues in the case. We'll come back on the record, and if anything comes out of there, we'll put it on the record. What I'm most likely to do is set it for discovery for some period of time, but this will at least get information changed that needs to be changed. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have Miss Yancey join us on an iPad, and I'll put you both in a breakout room. All right, Ms. Nonis?
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. So follow my court officer. All right, we're on the record in docket 1803556. That's people the state of Michigan. I'm sorry, that's the city of Lansing versus Tracy L. Miller. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Shmawi on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And ma'am, you are Tracy Miller?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. And have you had the opportunity to speak with the assistant city attorney on your case?
Not this morning, Your Honor.
All right. This case is getting a little older for us. I'm gonna, if amenable, yeah, this is July 19th, not July 9th. Looks like it was arraigned in July 9th. And then we have a couple failed to appears. I'm gonna have you, if you're amenable, I'm gonna have yourself placed in a breakout room with the assistant city attorney in order to discuss resolving this case or just setting it for trial, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'll have Miss Miller and Miss Rishmawi placed in a breakout room. Nathaniel, you'll do that?
Yep.
All right. So Miss Miller, you have to, yep, there you go. All right, we'll wait till they hear back from you on the case.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. All right, we're back on the record at docket 22017771. Ms. Nonis, did you have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Yancey in a breakout room?
Yeah, so we did, Your Honor, and it looks like we probably are going to reach a settlement, but we do need some time to do that. So I would
All right.
ask that the court give us probably 90 days would be best. So that way Miss Yancey can work things on her end. And then if we need paperwork and things like that, we can get that taken care of.
All right, so I can set it for discovery out for 90 days discovery in this matter. And in the meantime, depending on what happens, you can fill out a pretrial order online and contact with Yancey and figure that out. But my understanding is some time is needed in order to resolve the case. I'm a little bit familiar with the nature of the case just because I read the file. But other than that, I don't know the intricate of it. So we'll set it out for a control date.
January 24th, 2020.
Of January 20, this is the
Yeah.
first January hearing we have, okay? So January 23rd, 2023 at 8:30.
Okay. I know it's crazy to think, right? Another year has gone by.
It is. I completely agree. All right, so Ms. Yancey, we'll have a control date hearing of January 23rd, 2023 to see how the case is progressing in order to address some of the issues that you've talked about at 8:30. If you have any questions, Ms. Nona seems to be more than amenable to meet with you in this case. But we'll set that for the date right now, and then we'll see where it goes from here, okay?
Am I gonna receive, or I guess when will I receive like the paperwork?
You'll get a notice right now from my court officer that'll have the date on it. And so that's just a reminder date. In regards to anything you discussed in the breakout room, I would contact a legal representative or Ms. Nonis from the Credit Acceptance Corporation, okay? Is that a fair statement, Ms. Nonis?
Yes. So when she can figure out what's best for her, just give our office a call and we'll go from there.
All right. Any questions for me, Ms. Yancey?
I'm just, like, we came across a settlement agreement, and I just want to make sure that that doesn't get like defaulted somehow before I get a chance to actually.
You'll get a chance to review it and I can't sign it until you sign it.
Okay.
All right. Now we have the litigation set up. So whatever's put to me, unless it's ex parte in some way because you failed to appear, would be submitted to me by Ms. Nonis after your review. Okay. Is that a fair statement, Ms. Nonis?
Yeah. So if we reach a settlement, whether it's today, tomorrow, whatever, Miss Yancey, we will draft paperwork. It's called a conditional dismissal, and you will get that to review and sign, and then I will sign it and then submit it to the court for signature.
So do I have 90 days to let you know if I'm able to reach that settlement? Or do I have 90 days starting from the day that I have to pay that settlement? As I guess
Right.
what I'm asking.
Right. You have 90 days for the settlement. So you need to figure out your finances as quickly as possible. So I can't touch base with you in 90 days if you're going to accept it or not. You have to figure out if that's what's feasible for you. And if it
That's what I
is,
was just wondering if it starts today.
right.
Right. So it does start today, and prioritizing is figuring out your finances so you can understand some of the issues. All right. That's all for the record in docket 22-001771. Thank you for anything else for the record, Ms. Nonis?
No.
All right. That's all for the record in this file. Thank you, Ms. Yancey. Okay, you're all
Thank you,
set.
guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Sit down. Sit down.
All right, we're back on the record in docket 1803556. Ms. Rishmawi, have you had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Miller in a breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor. We spoke with Ms. Miller, and my understanding is that Ms. Miller will be pleading guilty to careless driving, MCL 257626B.
Okay, so it's a careless driving, which is a civil infraction, if I remember correctly,
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
And is that a 4-point ticket?
3 points.
What's that, 3
3
point?
points.
Okay, 3-point ticket. And what's the MCL code again?
257.626B.
26B and 150, and it's $150 fine. Ms. Miller, is that your understanding of what we're doing today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, would they plead to that count, that amended count? I'm assuming that's an amended count from the ticket. Let's see.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Just with that amended count 2. So it's the driving while license suspended will be dismissed. Is that true? Okay. 2. Be dismissed. $215 ticket on the careless. Let's see. Yep, that's what I have. $215. So, Ms. Miller, you understand that you will be pleading to an amended count 2 of the civil infraction of careless driving pursuant to 257.626B. That's a 3-point violation and a $215 fine for the ticket. With a plea to count 2, the original count 2 of driving while license suspended will be dismissed, that misdemeanor plea. Is that your understanding of what we're doing here today, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So all I'll have you do is I'll have you admit responsibility to the ticket. Just so we know that we're on the same page for the ticket. The ticket alleges that on June 16, 2018, at the offense location of East Kalamazoo Street, Hosmer Street, City of Lansing, Ingham County, and then pursuant in violation of 257.626B, that you did drive carelessly at that time on that date. Do you admit responsibility to that civil infraction, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I find the admission to the civil infraction to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately given. The fine for that will be $215. Do you need some time to pay that, ma'am?
Yes, can I pay that on the 1st?
You sure can. So
Thank you.
I'm gonna have payment for $215 to be paid by November 1st to the City of Lansing, and you can pay that online, in person, or you can mail that in. All right, Ms. Miller?
Yes, sir.
Anything else for the record, Ms. Rishmawi?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything, Ms. Miller? Any questions of me?
No, that's it, Your Honor.
All right, that's all for the record of this file. Thank you, Ms. Miller. Docket 18, that's all for the record and file 1803556. You're free to leave the Zoom courtroom, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, not with him.
So we're on the record in docket 19-00365. City of Lansing versus Aries Darnell Johnson. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Shmawi on behalf of the City of Lansing.
All right, this is the time set for a final pretrial in the matter, and it appears it was scheduled for 8:30. It is now 9 o'clock, and it appears that Aries Johnson has failed to appear for the final pretrial. Ms. Rishmawi, how does the city want to proceed?
Your Honor, this is the second time that Mr. Johnson has failed to appear in this courtroom, and we are requesting a bench warrant.
Okay. So the defendants failed to appear. There is a prior failed to appear, so we'll issue a bench warrant and bond forfeiture. Because of the failed to appear on July 19th, I won't order a 48-hour hold on that case. Anything else for the record in docket 19-00365, Ms. Rishmawi?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Would call-in user 8810968 please identify yourself?
George Judge.
Judge. Yeah, you're here for your 9 o'clock, Mr. Judge?
Yes,
All right, and you are not represented by counsel today?
I am.
Oh,
Ms. Sutter is
Ms. Sutter, all right. All right, we'll stand by and we'll address your case in just a few minutes.
Okay.
And then on the cell phone 763-7399, would you identify yourself?
My name's Tyler Badgley.
Okay, Mr. Badgley, and you're here also for your 9 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
All right, and who's your counsel, sir?
That's my case.
All
Your
right.
Honor.
So, Mr. Badgley, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with your attorney, Aaron Robinson.
Okay.
handling another case right now.
So does Judge Simmons have a room full of students?
That room is packed.
Statute day is much more exciting than the ordinance day, I think. What's it?
Never jury trial too.
I don't know. You're gonna be busy. What happened with Judge Buchanan's jury trial yesterday? Guilty. Good. They haven't had a guilty in a while. That was Ms. Shintzing.
That's a license, but doesn't it? Yeah, it's just because he, as far as I know, it would have been.
She's the prosecutor. The public defender is Tiffany.
I think so.
All right, let's go on the record in docket 22-02055, City of Lansing versus George Harding Judge. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Amanda Maui on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sarr on behalf of Mr. Judge, who is present with us via Zoom.
And sir, you are George Judge?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Judge?
Yes, I can.
All right, this is time set for a pretrial in the matter. And Ms. Rishmawi, how are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, my understanding is that we are amending the case number 22-02055 to impeded traffic. And
So we're gonna amend. Is that, that's the no license count one? Okay, so amending count one. Count one, no license. And what are we amending that to?
impeded traffic, MCL 257.676B.
Okay, impeding traffic. And I'm gonna have you repeat that number again. What's that again?
257.676B.
257.676B.
That's 0 points, Your Honor.
Okay, 0 points, and the impeding traffic fine, I think that falls under the general. Let's see.
I believe that one's $130.
$130, yeah. All right, with an admission of responsibility to the amended count one. Count the no license never applied misdemeanor is to be dismissed, I imagine.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then what about the other tickets? We have a fail to signal and an improper U-turn.
Your Honor, we are dismissing the failure to signal, and I believe Mr. Judge will be taking responsibility for the improper turn.
So dismiss. Actual misdemeanor. Count one. Civil infraction count two. And admit responsibility to civil infraction count three. And then the fail to signal and or observe a no signal. Is that 130 also? What's that?
They're dismissing the fail to signal and he's accepting responsibility for the improper turn.
Okay, so that. All right, so let me make sure I got, so the civil infraction of fail to signal and or observe no signal will be amended,
Will be dismissed.
will be dismissed. All right. So the single admission responsibility will be the impeding traffic and then count the actual count one, the actual count two and count three will be dismissed.
So he'll be accepting responsibility for impeding traffic and improper turn.
An improper turn.
Yes. And then the one being dismissed is the fail to signal and observe.
Okay, so so counts one and count two, he's admitting responsibility to. Because I have count two, the civil infraction of improper turn on the ticket.
Oh, so yes, they're different case files, but they're all on the same ticket, I believe.
Oh,
I believe that's,
all right, so the improper, all right. I have it all on the same ticket for whatever reason.
They all come on the same ticket. but they're
Okay.
separate ROAs.
All right, so that is. And fail to signal will be dismissed. All right, Mr. Judge. And I'm going to restate the agreement. It's my understanding you'll be admitting responsibility to an amended count one of impeding traffic. Count two of the improper turn will be an admission of responsibility. The original count one misdemeanor of license, no application is to be dismissed, and the fail to signal is to be dismissed.
correct.
Is that your understanding, Mr. Judge?
Yes, it is.
All right. And the maximum penalty of the fine is 0 points for the impeding traffic and $130 fine. And the fine for improper turn would be also a 0 point offense.
It's actually 2 points, Your Honor.
It's 2 points, a 2 point offense and $130 fine. All right, so in regards to the impeding traffic, I'll bring you back to July 31st, 2022 at Pennsylvania and Eureka Street. In regards to impeding traffic in the violation of 257676B, you were impeding traffic on that day. Do you admit responsibility to that civil infraction, sir?
Yes,
All right. And then in regards to the improper turn, on that same day at that same time on Pennsylvania Eureka, do you admit responsibility to the improper turn on that date at that time?
yes,
Okay, thank you. All right, with that understanding, then the fail to signal is dismissed and the original misdemeanor is to be dismissed. It'll be $260 in all to the city of Lansing. Do you need some time to make that payment?
I do.
All right. Would 30 days suffice?
Yes.
All right, so payment for fine will be made in 30 days to the city of Lansing. Of course, you can do that online, in person, or you can mail it in. Anything else for the record, Ms. Rishmawi, on dockets? It's docket 2202-554 and the accompanying tickets.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Sutter?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Mr. Judge, you have 30 days to pay. Essentially, it'll be two charges of $130, so $260 to the city of Lansing. All right, sir?
Yes.
All right, you're all set. You're free to leave the Zoom courtroom.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then, Ms. Robinson, are you ready on Mr. Badgley?
I am.
And Your Honor, if it's okay, while that case is being handled, would it be all right for me to look at the
Yes.
file for Ms. Mowry?
Here's the court file on Miss Mallory. All right, Mr. Badgley. That's one file and three tickets. Three tickets.
Yeah, so he just sent me over his reinstatement. So right now. Right.
Send it to me.
Yeah. So, but, what we were gonna do is he also broke his foot, so we're just gonna ask for a break. To get that.
Was his license being reinstated? Or is that-
So he has a letter, but I guess on the, it still shows that it's like in the system.
Yeah, because when we checked on the 11th, it was still not
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his,
But your anticipation is when the next week makes it clear.
I don't know, the letter's dated from 2021.
Oh, that's not very helpful. So from.
So we're on the record in docket 22-01833, City of Lansing versus Tyler Badgley. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Amanda Ishmael on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Karen Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Badgley.
And sir, you are Tyler Badgley?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you're joining us by Zoom. You can hear me all right, Mr. Badgley?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Rishmawi, this is the time set for pre-trial on these matters. How are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, my understanding is that we are setting it for a plea date to give Mr. Badgley some time to get the necessary documents for his license.
Set for plea date.
And we would request that to be 3 to 4 weeks out, Your Honor. He broke his foot, and so he needs a little bit more time to gather up the money, and he thinks that he'll be able to do that in 3 to 4 weeks.
All right, let's do 3 weeks.
Yeah, so with a plea, there's never witnesses.
Just a plea.
Excuse me, November 15th at 9.
So November 15th,
Is this for all of these?
yeah, at 9 a.m. we'll set for plea. So, Mr. Badgley, we have set this for November 15th at 9 a.m. to set for plea and for you to get your license in compliance with that, whatever you need to get, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else for the record in docket 2201833 and the accompanying tickets?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right. We'll see you back here on the 15th, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. You're free to leave the Zoom courtroom.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Write all that down. the record in docket 20-01785, people, the city of Lansing versus Heather L. Mag. This is set for sentencing today. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Schmawi on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Erin Robinson, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Ms. Mag.
And this is the time set for a sentencing on concerning Miss Mag. It was set for 9. It's now 9:32. I do have an indication that they were unable to do, or there was an indication of her that she'd been in the hospital. She was to get in touch with her client, get in touch with Miss Robinson, or wants to make contact concerning paperwork, and that was never done. Also, a letter was sent to the victim, and there was no response. Miss Rishmawi, how are we proceeding today? It's yeah.
Your Honor, we would like to defer the situation to the judgment.
Okay, you have to say it again.
We would like to defer the situation to the discretion of the court.
All right, Miss Robinson.
Your Honor, I would just ask that you put a 48-hour hold. The last I heard from Ms. Mag, she reported that she was in the hospital, and then I have not heard anything since, so I'm not sure what's going on. So I would just ask for a 48-hour hold.
Yeah, I think this time set for bench warrant for sentencing, and the defendants failed to appear. I'm going to issue a bench warrant and bond forfeiture, but I am going to put a 48-hour hold on the bench warrant and bond forfeiture until we hear something about the whereabouts of Miss Mag. I do have that she was supposed to, that there was some indication she was in the hospital, and then we just lost contact with her. That being the case, a 48-hour hold, if she comes in within 48 hours, the bench warrant will not be issued. But I think it's safe to say that we've lost contact with her, and therefore we're uncertain of her whereabouts at this time. Anything else for the record in docket 20-01785 from the city?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything from the defense, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you. That's all for the record in that file. In docket 22-01692. That is the city of Lansing versus Nicole Mowry Madison. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Schmawi on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Mowry, who is standing to my right.
And ma'am, you are Madison Mowry?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you can hear me all right, Ms. Mowry?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. This time set for a sentencing in the matter. And before we proceed to sentencing, my understanding the city attorney is here because the case has restitution.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Have you had the chance to go over the pre-sentence report with your client, Ms. Sutter?
I have, Your Honor.
Any additions, deletions, or corrections?
No, Your Honor.
Allocution?
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have the opportunity to review this with Ms. Mowry, and we have no issues with the majority of the report. They do correctly indicate that she is working part-time at Classic Pub. That is obviously a bar, so they have addressed that in terms of probation regarding no nightclubs or bars, obviously asking for an exception for employment. We would also request the court follow that exception for her. That's been good good, solid, stable employment for her for quite some time now. It's obviously quite important for her to maintain that employment. Also, Your Honor, she's a fairly young individual. I think that's fairly obvious to the court. And while this is not a good series of decisions that led us here, I think for young people, we do have to kind of give them the chance to improve, to make mistakes and then to grow from those mistakes. And we obviously wish this wasn't the mistake that was made, but Ms. Mowry is trying to take responsibility for it and do what's right here. She did seek out an assessment on her own. She went to Wellness INX, I apologize, and had that assessment done prior to her plea. So that has satisfied the statutory requirement for the assessment, and that's something that she's hoping to take advantage of, the recommendation that they provided as a result of that assessment. She's also sought out family support. The probation department here is recommending 12-step meeting attendance. She has already looked into AA, and she has a family member who attends on planning with her. So she's going to continue having that kind of community support through recovery, as well as family support in that recovery process. And that's something, again, she's done on her own because she does wish to take responsibility for this. I believe the recommendation is a fair one, Your Honor. They're recommending 6 months of probation with attendance of the MAD impact panel, the 12-step meeting attendance, and any outpatient counseling is directed by the probation department. We take no issue with that. I think it's a fair and reasonable recommendation from probation, and we would ask that the court to follow that. In terms of the financial aspect of this, as I stated, Ms. Mowry is working part-time at Classic Pub. She makes around $1,000 a month. It's not a very high-paying job, and she is obviously quite young, as I said. So I would ask that the court keep fines and costs to a minimum, especially considering this quite hefty restitution bill to the Board of Water and Light. We have looked at the receipts for it. We do see where they're coming from, and obviously that's going to take her some time and an extraordinary amount of effort to pay off what she's willing to do. But given that, Your Honor, I would ask that the court balance it out with reducing any fines and costs that they are able to, so she can address the more important part of this, which is the restitution to the LPD and to the Board of Water and Light. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rishmawi, would the city like to be heard on restitution? There's just a request, a restitution request.
Yes, Your Honor, we request restitution to be paid to the Board of Water.
All right, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit.
We request restitution to be paid for the Board of Water and Light.
Okay, and that restitution is in the amount of $3,272.02.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Mowry, your attorney, Ms. Sutter, has spoken on your behalf. Do you have anything you want to say to the court before I pass sentence?
No.
All right. All right, I agree with your attorney, Ms. Sutter. I think it's a fair pre-sentence report and a fair recommendation. You're looking at hefty restitution and LPD fines. I have some concerns that there appears to be at least an assessment done and some indication that alcohol is a problem, okay? And then we're sending you right back to work at the Classic Pub, okay? And although I'm not familiar with the Classic Club, I'm certainly familiar with bars. And I'm certainly familiar with drinking in bars. And I'm certainly familiar that this is not the best recipe that I would put together for somebody to go right back into the bar lifestyle and be serving alcohol with people who would be regulars or people who drink, okay? It appears that you understand that. I mean, you're born in 97. Yeah, so I mean, you're still in your mid-20s. Those are my concerns. I have those concerns. I mean, that's not the place that is safest for you, so to speak. You know that. I mean, you're a bartender, right? Yeah. So you probably have better stories than I have, right?
Probably.
Yeah, so that's my fear. That's my concern. All right. And so it's incumbent upon you to prove me wrong. All right. To get through this, to understand all that can happen as while you're serving alcohol, and that all that's available to the parties you serve to. And it's one way I know that establishments make money, right? They have to sell drinks, and they have people they sell to, but it also affects the employees, and it also affects those who assist in that. And you understand that this situation could have been a lot worse, right? Yeah, I mean, so, and that's the scariest part of this, is that you hit a pole. Things could have gone a lot worse than they went today. So that we're grateful for, right? All right. I'm going to take the pre-sentence and the pre-sentence report and the recommendation. This is for count 1, a guilty plea of operating while high blood alcohol level 0.17 or higher. I'm going to suspend the 180 days in jail beginning October 18th. Credit is given for 0 days previously served, but I will suspend them upon successful completion of probation. I agree with your attorney. I'm going to keep fines and costs limited on this, but I'm going to assess fines and costs. All right. I'm going to assess $150 fines and $150 costs. Crime victims' rights fee of $75. State minimum cost of $50. Those last two I don't have any discretion on. The restitution amount to the Board of Water and Light for the poll is $3,272. And then there's an LPD request of $575. And then probation is $30 a month for $180. So my advice to you is over the course of probation, just keep that as a priority and make whatever payments are set up. All right. You have over the course of probation to set it up. That'll just keep you out of trouble. All right. I'm going to order probation for 6 months. No assaultive or threatening behavior. No use of alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substance while on probation for 6 months. That is my concern, but I think you've seen enough working at the pub, so you know to stay away from it, but you can serve it, but it's a problem, right? It's a problem. We're putting you right back in the atmosphere that may be problematic. Submit to random PBTs or your analysis is directed. No bars or nightclubs except for employment. I'm going to indicate that since you work in a bar, you obtain and maintain employment. I don't know if you plan on working at a bar forever, but, and you shook your head no. I've known a lot of bartenders who said that, okay? But this might be a good time to see what else is out there for you, okay, in regards to this. And I'm not saying anything about the proprietors or the owners of the bar, all right? Some very good friends of mine own bars. What I'm saying is, for you, it might not be the right employment, okay? You might need to look elsewhere for that. Attend a 12-step program with written verification that your attorney already indicated. Obtain and maintain employment as indicated before, and not purchase or possess any firearms. This conviction will be reported to the state Secretary of State concerning your driver's license. I'm going to give you a total for the amount so you have it. So 300 plus 125 plus 1,272. So I have a grand total with restitution of $4,452.32. Most of that is the restitution on the poll, which I guess in hindsight, I guess I'd rather pay for the poll than be a part of the poll, right? Or and run into the poll and hurt, and that's my concern in this matter. I'm not concerned about you within the next 6 months, all right? Because if I see you again, I start running out of options concerning this, and then incarceration becomes the option. I don't think that's the option here. That's not the way I see it. But if I keep seeing you and you're violating probation, I start running out of options, all right? So I'm not worried about you in this for the next 6 months. What I'm worried about is 6 years from now, okay? When you have to make quality decisions and you're put in position where you need to make good decisions so this doesn't happen again, okay? All right, anything else for the record in docket 22-01692 from the city?
No, Your Honor, thank
All
you.
right, anything, Ms. Sutter?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Ms. Mowry, hopefully we don't see each other, right? All right, all right. Good luck to you, okay? All right. You should report to probation, so we'll do that immediately.
Yeah, I think that's her plan, yes.
All right, all right. Thank you. That's all for the record, Ms. Bob. Okay, good. The phone JOS. Suspended, so.
Well, I do have good contact with him, Judge, so he did call in.
Right.
You know, so I would just hope that we could get it rescheduled.
Well, on word is, he's not incarcerated. He was let go this morning. I think he was released. I don't have a problem with just resetting it based on the circumstances. This is the first pretrial. So if you're able, and I don't want to bench warn him if he was just out this morning. You know, I mean, that's not necessarily his fault. So
10:25 at noon.
yeah, so set for second pretrial. D just released. And he did call you.
Yes.
All right.
At 9 a.m.
9:30.
Yeah. So what's the date again?
10:25 at night.
10:25 at 9 a.m.
9:30.
9:30 for second pretrial. All right, so we're on the record docket 21-00418. Parties appearances for the record.
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Shmawi on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Word.
All right, it appears that Mr. Word was let out of the Ingham County Jail early this morning and then was in contact with an attorney. So that indicates he was in Mason, which creates a problem for him getting here at the time requested, which would be 9 o'clock. So we're going to adjourn this for a second pretrial. Mr. Wood was in contact with his attorney, and we'll set it for October 25th at 9:30. Anything else for the record in 21-00418, Ms. Rich Maui.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank
All
you.
right, that's all for the record in this file. The, we have a, I don't have anybody in the Zoom courtroom. What's that?
I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah. Who's representing Martin Hodges?
That's my case, Judge.
Okay. And McMillan?
He declined our services.
Good. And who's in the back here? Say Raven?
And that's my client, Your Honor.
All right. That you're here for the 10 o'clock?
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Tran is mine, the 9:30. I'm gonna give him a quick call.
All right. So, sir, you are Ryan Rindress?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So I'd like to set for October 31st.
Okay, October, let me write that down.
This case.
So, Mr. Rindress, all those things you indicated to me about one case being dismissed and the other case being alive versus statute and ordinance?
Yes.
Yeah, after when we spoke yesterday,
Yeah.
it appears that you were absolutely right. This city ordinance is the case that's dismissed, which is the 15-02847, and the statute case is the one that the computer got them mixed up, and the statute case is the one that was alive that you were here on yesterday. So that one has been reset. All right. It's just we reset it. The computer had one case file dismissed and one case file not dismissed. So we've reset that for October 31st at 9:30.
I thought it got dismissed.
No, well, this is the actual case that's dismissed. This city ordinance case is the one that's dismissed.
Okay.
Yeah, which is what you thought originally. That's what you originally indicated is I thought I was here on the statute case, the city case is dismissed. And we said, nope, the computer reads otherwise. And you were actually right. And the computer was wrong.
Okay.
So this case today, the city ordinance case is dismissed. The statute case has been reset for October 31st at 9:30 for pretrial.
Okay, and that is going to be in person or on Zoom? And
I'm good with Zoom.
Okay.
I'm good with Zoom on that pretrial. Yeah.
I just have one more question. So which case is this? This is the domestic violence that I'm going for?
Let's see, this case is the domestic violence case is the one that's left on for October 31st. This case, which is an assault and battery case, is the one that's dismissed.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rindress. We'll see you on October 31st, okay? All right.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 20-03511, 20-03520, 20-03633, 20-03524, and 20-03725. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Shmawi on behalf of the City of Lansing.
All right, and this is the time set for a pretrial on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files. This was set for 9:30. It is now 10:02. It appears the defendant has failed to appear. These are all trespass cases. Ms. Rishmawi, how would the city like to proceed?
Your Honor, this is Mr. McMillan's second failure to appear, and we are requesting an immediate bench warrant.
Okay, I have a prior fail to appear on September 20th in regards to the multiple files. So DFTA, bench warrant, and bond forfeiture is issued. anything else for the record on any of these files from the city?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me write that over. Right, we're on the record in docket 21 at 03103. That's people, the state of Michigan, I'm sorry, that's the city of Lansing versus Martin Hodges. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Erin Robinson, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Hodges.
And sir, you are Martin Hodges? All right. This is the time set for a pretrial concerning Mr. Hodges. Ms. O'Boyle, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's my understanding that Mr. Hodges will be pleading guilty to the charge of false information. However, it's further our understanding that the Public Defender's Office will be seeking credit for time served, and the city takes no position as to that request.
And so is that your understanding, Ms. Robinson? It's a plea discharge
Yes, Your
to the
Honor.
false information credit for time served?
Correct.
And is that a Killebrew agreement?
It's not a Killebrew agreement. That's
Okay.
just what we're asking for.
And how many days does Mr. Hodges have?
On this case, I'm not sure exactly. Well, that's for your other case. This one, it looks like he has at least 7 days
All right.
on this one, but he has been in Clinton County for the whole time. I know, I get it. Let me talk for you, okay?
All right. And the ultimate penalty for the filing of false information is 90 days and or $100. Is that correct?
I believe it's 93 days.
93 days?
It is a 90-day.
Oh, it is
It's
okay.
a city misdemeanor, and it's up to 500.
500? Thank you. All right, Mr. Rogers, is that Mr. Hodges, is that your understanding of the plea agreement today? That you would be pleading guilty to the misdemeanor of false information with a plea to that? There would be an agreement or there would be a request by your attorney that I have credit for time served would be 7 days. As of today, that might be different at sentencing.
Sure, I was here and I'm trying to go to that program as of the 6th, if you remember. And so I'm trying to get everything adjudicated, so when I come up on the 26th of this month to sentencing there, if they give me the program, there won't be any holds to keep me from not being able to go to that program,
All right.
because all this is due to that. So time served would be great, that's my understanding.
And
And I'm poor, homeless, and they got no money.
it's the 28th of this month is what they're looking at, correct?
26th.
26th.
I took a plea deal for high court misdemeanor for a year.
Right. So I have to tell you the ultimate penalties in here in this. Ms. O'Boyle, is there any objection to immediate sentencing here or?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And then you're still incarcerated awaiting placement
Yeah.
on other charges.
Judge, I think we have to do the plea first.
Right. I'm just making
Oh,
sure.
okay.
I'm just making sure I understand the
I didn't want
nature.
you to sentence
Yeah.
him before
No.
doing the plea.
I'm just, I just want to make sure. So you have other pending charges and you've got a year in and you were sentenced by a year.
One charge, I already took the year plea agreement. I'm waiting to be sentenced on. that.
Okay, all right.
Hoping to be sentenced. I'm probably actually gonna be sentenced to probably 90 days and then I'm hoping a 90 or 6-month program.
Right.
I really need help.
Okay. All right.
Seems-
I got it. I just want to make sure I understand.
but
All
that's the
these
only-
cases start to run together to me. So, but, all right. So you understand the maximum penalty for filing false information is a 90-day and or $500. All right. And I understand that there's a request for credit for time served. If your plea is accepted today, you will not have a trial of any kind in this case. And so I'm going to walk you through your rights. All right. You have the right to be tried by a jury. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have a prosecutor prove beyond reasonable doubt that you are guilty. You have the right to have witnesses against you appear at trial. You have the right to question those witnesses against you. You, of course, are represented by Public Defender Erin Robinson. She could cross-examine or contest any charges brought against you. In this case, you have the right to have the court order any witnesses that you might have for your defense at the appear at trial. You have the right to remain silent during trial. You have the right not to have that silence used against you. And you have the right to testify at trial if you choose to testify. Do you understand your trial rights in this? If your plea is accepted, you'll give up the claim that the plea was a result of any promises or plea agreement other than the plea agreement, or threats that it was not your choice to plead guilty. You'll also be giving up any appeal rights you would have that might come out of trial. Do you understand that, sir? It's my understanding today that you intend to waive those rights and plead guilty today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I did.
All right, I'm gonna bring your attention back to November 7th of 2021 at the offense location of South Pennsylvania and at or near South Pacific. On that date at that time, without a vehicle involved, did you provide information to the Lansing Police Department on scene?
I did.
Okay, and was that false information that you provided? Okay. I find the factual basis to be understanding, voluntarily, and accurately made. Ms. O'Boyle, any questions about the facts in this case, or the admission of a plea?
No, Your Honor, the city is satisfied with the factual basis on the record.
Okay, anything, Ms. Robinson, concerning the factual basis? All right, with that understanding, I think that we can go to immediate sentencing on this case. And so I will sentence. And without objection from the city?
No objection.
All right, and I know Ms. Robinson doesn't have an objection to immediate sentencing.
No, Your Honor.
So we will sentence to 7 days for 7 days credit. The only fine that I have, I'm not going to do any fines and costs. I'm going to waive all fines and costs.
Thank you, sir.
The only one that I can't waive is the CVR fee, right? The $75. The $75 crime victims' rights fee. I don't have the discretion to waive that. So that will be outstanding. Do we want to administratively close the file? Yeah. And so what we'll do is with that outstanding $75, I'll just administratively close the file. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
right, we're all set on docket 2103-103. Ms. O'Boyle,
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
We're all set.
All right, Mr. Hodges, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Right. Mr. Tron, can you hear us?
Yes. Yes,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
All right, we're gonna call to the record docket 22-01844. City of Lansing versus Ben Tron. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant Secretary Emmanuel Shmawi on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Tran, who is present via Zoom.
All right, and sir, you are Ben Von Tron?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Tron?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a plea in the matter. Ms. Rishmawi, how are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, it is my understanding that we are setting the case for final pre-trial to give Mr. Chan some time to obtain his license.
All right. So I can adjourn it today, but it's gotta be a couple weeks. Is he gonna need more time than a couple
I
of weeks?
believe so, Your Honor. He has to make a couple of payments to the Secretary of State, and that's taking him a little bit of time. His daughter just had a fairly significant spinal surgery. He's a little low on money. We think a month closer to that would give him the time he needs to pay off the outstanding balance with the Secretary of State.
Yeah, that puts us right at, yeah, over 100 days. Let's see, 60. We'll give him 30 days. We'll give him a 30 days set it for final pre-trial. So set for final pre-trial, November 22nd at 8:30. Which, yeah, and then we'll set the same date for the tickets. That's over a month, I think.
I think it's a couple of days over, yes.
Yeah, so let's set it for November 22nd at 8:30 in order for final pretrial.
And we would agree that the state does not need to subpoena anyone.
All right.
For a final pretrial.
All right. So no witnesses are needed to be subpoenaed for the final pretrial. Ms. Rishmawi, anything else on file 22-01844? We'll reset it for November 22nd at 8:30.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything Ms. Sutter, and I'll inquire your client about the date.
I have nothing further.
All right. Mr. Tran, you understand this has been set for November 22nd at 8:30.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right. And so you understand that date is the final date after
Yes.
that. So whatever you need to do, get done by November 22nd, okay?
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. That's all for the record in docket 22-01844.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're free to hang up, Mr. Tran.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
all set. So we're back on the record in 22-01780. That's people of the state of Michigan, the city of Lansing versus Moses Lee Davis. Miss Rishmawi, you've had the opportunity to speak, or Miss O'Boyle, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Davis. How are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Amanda O'Boyle on behalf of the city of Lansing. I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Davis in the fall, and I do believe we've reached a resolution in this matter. At this time, the city moves to amend the charge of driving while license suspended to allowing a suspended person to operate, which is a 0-point criminal misdemeanor without licensing action. And we would further enter into a Killebrew agreement to no upfront jail.
What is the
MCL?
MCL for that?
Sure, it's 257.904 subsection 2.
All right, and that's a 90-day and or $100?
I believe so, Your Honor, and it's 0 points.
Okay. Mr. Davis, is that your understanding that we'll be amending the ticket to read allowing a suspended person to operate the motor vehicle pursuant to 257.9042? That's a 90-day misdemeanor and or $100. That's a Killebrew agreement. There's 0 points associated with it. Do you understand that that would be the nature of the plea offered today?
Yes.
All right, and you're willing to plead guilty to that today? All right. All right, so you understand the maximum penalty for allowing a person suspended in their license to drive is 90 days under $100.
Yes.
All right. If the plea is accepted, you'll not have a trial of any kind in this misdemeanor plea, and I'll go through those with you. All right, sir? All right. You have the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, to have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have the witnesses against you appear at trial, to question the witnesses against you, to have the court order any witnesses the defendant has for the defense to appear at trial, to remain silent during any trial, not to have that silence used against you, and to testify at trial if you choose to testify. Do you understand your trial rights, sir? And it's my understanding, it's your understanding that if the plea is accepted, you'll give up any claim that anything other than the Killebrew of no upfront jail was a result of any promises or threats. It was your choice to plead guilty. Do you understand that? All right. And you'd be giving up any appeal rights from a trial. If we're not going to have a trial, you're going to plead guilty to the allowing a person to drive on a suspended ops. Do you understand that, sir? I'm going to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to bring your attention back to the date of June 29th, 2022 at the location of Northeast Street near Community in the city of Lansing, Ingham County. Were you driving a motor vehicle on that date?
Yes.
All right. And for our purposes, it's either did you allow somebody to drive on a suspended license, or did you yourself drive on a suspended license?
I drove under a suspended license.
All right, that'd be the factual basis for the ticket. Any questions from the city on the factual basis?
No, Your Honor,
All
the
right.
city is satisfied.
All right. I find that factual basis to be understanding, voluntarily, and accurately made. Do you have any objection to immediate sentencing in this case?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Davis, the court will sentence you pursuant to the Killebrew agreement of no jail time. All right.
All right.
And we'll do $75 fines and costs, and then the $75 crime victims' rights fee, and then the $50 state fee. I don't have any restitution in this case. Do you have any
No,
restitution?
Your Honor.
So it'll be $200. do you need some time to pay that to the city of Lansing
No, I'll pay next Friday.
next Friday?
So,
All right, so to pay to city of Lansing by October 28th? All right, by 5. Any questions of me, Mr. Davis?
no,
You're all set, all right? If you pay by the 28th, you'll be all set and you can, and you don't have to show up in court, all right?
thank God.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Davis, we're all set.
You too. Okay, all right, thank you.
You want to call, oh, where's Miss, we'll wait on Miss, there you are, Miss Sutter. Are you here on Miss Fox? We can go ahead and call that case.
I am here.
So we're on the record in docket 22-00820. This is the city of Lansing versus Leah Fox. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Schmally on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Leah Fox, who I do not believe is present.
Yeah, the time set for a pretrial in the matter was set for 10 o'clock. It is now 10:46. It appears that the defendants failed to appear. How would the city like to proceed?
Your Honor, this is the second failure to appear for Ms. Fox, and we are requesting an immediate bench warrant.
All right, Ms. Sutter?
Thank you, Your Honor. I do recognize that this may be the second failure to appear. It is a non-assaultive case, so I realize the court does not have to, but I would ask that any bench warrant be held in abeyance for 48 hours to allow her the chance to appear and handle this.
All right, I have Ms. Fox failed to appear on the April 11th, failure to appear on May 23rd. And on September 29th, she told the magistrate, I just forgot about it. So I don't know what to do with Ms. Fox at this point. So, so we'll bench warrant and bond forfeiture her. And then hope that she shows up and that we can resolve the matter. So DFT has bench warrant and bond forfeiture. Anything else for the record in 22-00820 from the city?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything, Ms. Sutter?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. These are all Mr. McMillan. On the Nolly Cross, or on the warrant.
Yes.
Oh, they're really coming. That's $200 PR. I should sign that. You're right, nobody's still in my Zoom today. in docket 22-02417 with the accompanying ticket of 22L2744141. City of Lansing versus Michael McCray. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Shmawi on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Karen Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. McCray.
Sir, you are Michael McCray?
Yes.
Okay. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter, and I understand that Mr. McCray just recently made application to the Public Defender's Office. So Ms. Robinson, how are we proceeding in this matter?
Your Honor, we would just request another pretrial date, probably 2 weeks out at least, so that we can process his application and at the point of get discovery and go from there.
All right, this is the time set for the first pretrial. Ms. Rishmawi, any comment on the request for an additional pretrial, just to see if Mr. McCray is able to have his application accepted by the Public Defender's Office?
Your Honor, the city does not object to second retrial.
All right, Mr. McCray, you understand that you made application to the Public Defender's Office. It's a good idea. This is a misdemeanor case, so it means that it's punishable by less than 1 year in jail. Yeah, so it's probably a good idea to have a lawyer walk you through the process. Yeah, I agree. You're looking at the let's see, we have 1 misdemeanor failed to stop or identify after a property damage accident. I would assume that's 90 days and or 100 or 500. Ms. Rishmawi?
It's 500.
It's 500. So you're capable of being sentenced to 90 days in jail and or $500 fine. So it's probably a good idea to be represented today.
Okay, I'll be represented with all that time.
Yeah, be represented by Ms. Robinson.
But I want to do jail time.
All right, well, that you haven't been found guilty yet.
I know, I
But-
never been in jail before.
Okay, but if you are found guilty, you have the potential for jail time. So that's why you should probably talk to a lawyer. Does that make sense?
That ticket's that bad?
Yeah, it's a 90-day misdemeanor. Yep, that ticket. Yeah, it's on the side of it. If you look on the side of failed to stop, it says MISD. That's a misdemeanor. The box is checked MISD.
Box.
Yeah.
Okay, traffic cash.
Judge, he's filled out an application. So I think he is interested in getting an attorney at this time. If we could just get another pretrial.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I've never been down one over there.
All right.
I paid the fine when I got paid.
Okay, Mr. McCray.
Right, so
Okay.
let your public defender, right.
In my life.
Let your public defender do your talking for you now, okay?
So I ain't never been there.
All right,
Mr. McCray.
so let's do
Oh,
this.
sure.
Let's do the second pretrial is set for
And what that for?
November 15th at 9.
November 15th
Jesus.
at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Okay, so second pretrial is set for November 15th at 9 a.m. In the meantime, so that is when the second pretrial is indicated. And you'll get a notice from my court officer to appear on that date. In the meantime, keep track of your application to the Public Defender's Office, and then they'll tell you how to proceed in this case. If your application is accepted by their office, okay?
If it is.
If it is, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna wait and see that it's accepted. What's that?
That take.
How long does that usually
That
take?
takes a couple of days for our office. It kind of depends on when our director reviews it. Our boss has to read it, so if he makes a decision, it'll be within probably early next week that you'll know.
All right. So, yeah, so so they'll contact you and let you know the application process, or should he call in? Or
We
both?
have his application,
Okay.
so we'll call you or email you about the results of your application.
Email said I'm
So
not.
you'll either get a call from your
It's in the-
attorney
it's in the
or,
mail, it's in the mail, be better.
okay, Mr. McRae, I gotta finish what I'm saying, okay, because it's gonna answer your question. So you will either get a call from your attorney, who will then talk to you about next steps in the case, or you'll get a call from somebody who works in our office saying that you weren't accepted. Either way, you'll find out, okay? And they're gonna call you back on the information that you put on the sheet of paper.
So they have your contact information, so they'll get in touch with you. All right.
I just want to go to jail.
All right. You're out, you're free right now. Just keep in contact and show up for your court dates and you'll be
Oh,
fine.
yeah, I'm going to get this over. with.
All right.
I've never been in jail in my life.
All right.
I don't want to go there.
All right. So you're all
We gotta-
set.
We gotta go that far.
All right. So you're all set, Mr. McRae. Well, that's all in
I
docket.
don't want to take it that far.
All right.
McRae,
20
Stop talking.
22-024-17. Mr. McRae, you're free to leave the room, all right?
God bless you, man.
Okay.
We gotta go that far.
All right. Thank you.
That's why my wife just died.
Mr. McRae, it's time to go.
Yeah, I'm straight up, no law. My name ain't Dumb and Dumber.
And then we have, let's go ahead and call Mr. Malcolm. So on the record in docket 18 L2237552, that is the City of Lansing versus Robbie Malcolm. This is the time set for pre-trial today on a failed to display a valid license. From the city, appearances.
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Schmaui on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Karen
And-
Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Miss Malcolm.
All right. This is the time set for a pre-trial on this matter. It has been scheduled for 10:30. It's now 11:03. I don't see Miss Malcolm in the courtroom or the Zoom courtroom. And Miss Robinson, the indication is your client's not here.
I have not seen her yet today.
Okay.
Or heard. from her
Uh,
today.
How does the city want to proceed?
Your Honor, this is the second failure to appear for Ms. Malcolm, and we are requesting an immediate bench warrant.
All right. Ms. Robinson, any comment?
No comment.
All right. There is a prior fail to appear out of October 4th of 2022. So the court will order a bench warrant and bond forfeiture. Anything else for the record in this docket? 18 L2237552 from the city.
No, Your Honor. thank
Anything,
you.
Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
thank you.
thank you. Then we'll do, or we'll call docket 22-00417. That's City of Lansing versus Antonia M. Taylor. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Schmaui on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Taylor, who I do not believe is present today.
All right, this is the time set for a pre-trial. It was scheduled for 10:30. It's now 11:05. It appears the defendants failed to appear. The Zoom courtroom is empty, so is the physical courtroom. And Ms. Sutter indicated that she has not seen her client today.
Correct, I've called her and I've checked in the hallway and I have not seen her.
All right. How's the city want to proceed today?
Your Honor, this is Ms. Taylor's first time failure to appear, so we are requesting a bench warrant bond forfeiture with a 48-hour hold.
Any comment, Ms. Sutter?
Just to ask that that 48-hour hold be issued on any bench warrant.
All right. So the court will indicate that the defendants failed to appear. This is the first appearance. Failed to appear on the matter. So I will issue a 48-hour hold on it. It is not a domestic assault.
Correct, it is not a domestic.
Yeah, it's not a domestic assault. So a 40-hour hold is put on the bench warrant. That's all for the record, docket 22-00417. Anything else from the city?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, Ms. Sutter?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're all set today.
I think that's everyone.
Did we call Megan?
Legal side?
Yeah,
Okay.
she was a bench warrant, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, there was
Yeah.
you issued an immediate bench warrant from Ms. Fox.
That's all right.
Better safe than sorry, Wendy.
All right.
See you next week.
All right. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Amani.
Okay,
Rish Maui. I've got it. You think I know by now, you know?
it's
Mr. Staples, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
All right, I hope I didn't make a mess today.
You were fine. You were fine.
All right, I'll see you in the afternoon.
All right.
Yeah, we used to talk to someone.
Oh, that's right. We'll be back this afternoon as well. I don't know why I said next week.
I think I've got a couple this afternoon, don't I?
There's a couple of, I have one probation violation here. I think there's another that we're not handling.
All right.
We only have one TV for this afternoon.
Oh, that's me then, Perkins.
All right.
Then we have some civil matters. Gail needs to speak to someone. I know she can come up now.
Sure.
She was talking about having
I think of that.
a alternate for.
I was out there, I was like,
So
do you want an attorney?
Your
And he's
property
like,
and in general civil.
Man, I mean, like, can you just tell me about my case? I'm like, I don't know jack shit about your case, sir, because I'm not your attorney.
He's a very talkative man, Mr.
Oh,
McCray.
God, that was cracking me up. Yeah.
And he's like, well, why can't you just tell me if I got a good case or not? And I'm like, because
So
I'm
I don't know
not
anything
your
about
attorney.
it.
I don't know
Sorry.
anything about it.
I'm
you
really
know?
I don't have
Hey,
anything.
sir.
If you want me to represent you, you have to fill out this application. What? I'm not doing all that. You know, I'm not doing all. Okay, sir.
And I know he's being rude when we tell him to stop talking, but we can't tell you anything else. The only thing we can do to protect you is tell you to stop.
Stop talking. Yeah, I know.
We like can't give you more advice than that. We're not appointed, so the only thing we are ethically permitted to do is tell you to shut up.
I have a friend who practices out of Detroit, and on the back is a criminal defense lawyer. And on the back, he does mostly marijuana stuff, but on the back,
Uh-huh.
it says, stop talking.
Yep.
Law enforcement is not your friend.
Yep.
Stop talking, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Sticker says don't talk to the police.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
stop talking.
Yep.
You have constitutional rights, abide by your guns, stop talking.
Please exercise your rights.
Don't be the state's best witness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's got
Yeah.
she's got like a
She wants-
door sign outside her office
Yep.
too about come back with a warrant.
It's hard to explain to people because everybody wants to say something
Yeah.
and you need to stop. You need to stop saying something.
And I know it sounds rude to tell you to stop talking, but I also can't explain to you on the record why.
Yeah, yeah,
All I
yeah.
can do is tell you to stop talking and explain it to you.
So, yeah,
Oh,
so it's a good business card. I like that.
Right.
Nope.
I think Ms. Rushnawi left her computer charger there.
All
I'll
right,
try and remind her when I see her this afternoon.
all right.
Your Honor, would you ever do a Cobb's conference on a probation violation?
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk to, I mean, we can do it in chambers or we can do it on the record. It's up to you.
Okay, there's Ms. Perkins set for this afternoon. She's curious if she were to accept jail time, how much time the court would be intending
I'm
to impose.
amenable to that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
We
think-
can all talk about that.
Okay, I think that might be beneficial this afternoon.
All right,
Thank you.
okay,
Have a good lunch.
thanks. Stop talking. They should teach everybody that.
It was just funny.
Yeah, they should. Mr. McCray wanted to talk.
I was gonna say, I don't know if there's any not talking now.
Well, and Miss Robinson could probably be kinder. She's very
Okay,
abrupt.
again.
She's an
like
abrupt
Camped
person.
out at the table again and clients have
Well,
to
she's
call
abrupt,
over.
yeah. She's an abrupt person, but
I just feel like we should put a note on the table. If it is not your case, please sit in the
Yeah.
side chair.
Mr. McCray's he's
Oh, yeah, he's gonna be fine.
he'll talk himself right into, misdemeanor. What does that mean? That means you could go to jail. Well, I don't want to go to jail. I've never been to jail before. All right, then you probably should get legal representation. He's a nice guy. We're not here to put you in jail. We want to keep you out of jail. That's what our preference would be, Trust me, Mr. McCray, jail doesn't want you in jail. Can you imagine? Can you imagine working in Eaton County Jail and seeing that guy every morning? I mean, you'd want
How's
to.
breakfast today? Tell me any breakfast.
You know? docket 22L2726163, City of Lansing versus Eric Jonathan Spencer. Sir, you are Eric Jonathan Spencer?
Yes, sir. I am.
All right. This time set for a show cause. The show cause was because there's an outstanding balance of $145 from a no proof of insurance case initially. Do you understand that's the nature of the show cause?
Yes, sir. I mean, I'm unemployed. I've been trying to get my money from unemployment. They owe me from 2019.
Right.
And I mean, I'm waiting on disability and I'm not working, so.
Is there any amount you can pay within 30 days?
I mean, I could probably pay, $100 maybe.
That perfect. If you pay $100 within 30 days, we'll administratively close the file.
Okay.
All right. How's that?
That's fine.
Yeah. So I'm gonna indicate to pay show cause hearing held. And if you pay $100 within 30 days, so we will make it for November. How about November 1, 2, 3, 4? Make it November 18th.
Okay.
How about?
That'll work.
Yeah, within to November 18th. If paid, administrative close file. All right, you're all set.
Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Spencer. All right.
Good day.
You too. Thank you. What's the acronym for administrative?
ACMC,
ACMC. How many times am I gonna ask you that?
administratively closed money's collectible. It just means that if the
Administratively
court ever really
closed.
wanted to, they can go out.
We're on the record in docket 22-00842, City of Lansing versus Levante D. Brody. This is the time set for a show cause for $150. I don't know what I want to do about it. Yeah.
Cause he got it. It was put from a misdemeanor, so one infraction.
So bench warrant bond forfeiture for fail to appear for Mr. Brody. And then we have closed in after park. That's docket 22L2727611, Sharita T. Currington. It was scheduled for 11:15. It's now 11:36. There's $100 fine on a enclosed park after 10 o'clock, and I'm going to administratively close the file. So that's all on ticket 22L2727611.